Imagine a world where finding out if you have the flu, an infection, or even the early signs of cancer is as simple as chewing a piece of gum. This isn't science fiction. It's the very real future of personal health, thanks to an incredible technology called chewing gum biosensors. For decades, medical testing meant clinics, professionals, and often uncomfortable procedures. But the COVID-19 pandemic showed us there's a huge demand for easier, at-home options. Now, scientists are pushing that idea to its limit, creating diagnostics that can fit right into our daily lives. Today, we're going to unwrap the fascinating science of diagnostic chewing gum, exploring how it works, what it can detect, and how it's poised to completely change how we think about our health. The secret to this revolution lies in something we produce all day, every day: our saliva. The mouth is often called a mirror to our overall health, and saliva is the reflection. It's a complex fluid packed with biological information. It contains a huge variety of what we call biomarkers, things like proteins, enzymes, DNA, and hormones that can signal the presence of disease. Analyzing these salivary biomarkers is a non-invasive, stress-free alternative to blood tests. The best part? It's incredibly easy to collect. No needles, no clinics, no special equipment. This accessibility is the driving force behind the development of diagnostic chewing gum. So how do you turn a piece of bubble gum into a sophisticated medical device? At the core of a diagnostic chewing gum is a tiny, highly advanced biosensor. This sensor is specifically engineered to look for one particular biomarker associated with a disease. The act of chewing is actually a critical part of the process. It stimulates saliva production, ensuring the sensor gets a good sample to analyze. When the target biomarker floats by in the saliva, it latches onto the biosensor, triggering a signal. The real genius is in how that signal is communicated to the person chewing the gum. Scientists are exploring several brilliant methods. One of the most clever and user-friendly methods is taste. Researchers in Germany, led by Professor Lorenz Meinl, have pioneered a taste-based biosensor, and a company called 3A Diagnostics is working to bring it to market. Here's the simple elegance of it. The gum contains a sensor molecule that's initially tasteless. This molecule is made of a bitter-tasting substance that's chemically handcuffed to a specific peptide. When a particular enzyme, the biomarker for a disease, is present in the saliva, it acts like a pair of molecular scissors. It cuts the peptide handcuff, releasing the bitter compound. The user then tastes this bitterness, giving them a clear, immediate yes or no answer. This means no electronics, no readout devices, nothing. It's a diagnostic tool you can truly use anywhere, anytime. 3A Diagnostics is developing this for conditions like peri-implantitis, which is inflammation around dental implants, and even infectious diseases like the flu. For their flu diagnostic gum, instead of a bitter taste, it's designed to release a thyme-like flavor when it detects the neuraminidase enzyme of the influenza virus. Another promising approach uses color. Imagine your gum changing color to tell you something's wrong. This is the idea behind colorimetric biosensors. One patented design involves using microscopic vesicles called liposomes. These liposomes are engineered to change color when they encounter a specific biomarker. They're mixed into the gum, and as you chew, if the biomarker is in your saliva, the gum itself could change color, giving you a clear visual signal. Another area of research involves using gold nanoparticles. These tiny particles can be designed to change color when they bind to a biomarker. While this hasn't been fully integrated into a chewing gum format yet, it shows the massive potential for creating a visual diagnostic gum in the near future. For those who want more than a simple yes or no, there are electrochemical biosensors. These are a bit more complex but incredibly powerful. They work by converting a biological interaction into an electrical signal. In this scenario, you'd have tiny microelectrodes embedded in the gum itself. When the target biomarker from your saliva binds to the sensor on the electrode, it causes a measurable change in the electrical properties. While putting electronics in a disposable piece of gum has its challenges, the upside is huge. A gum with an integrated electrochemical sensor could wirelessly send results to a smartphone app. This app could not only tell you if the result is positive or negative, but also give you a quantitative measurement of the biomarker's concentration. You could track this data over time, giving you and your doctor valuable insights into how a disease is progressing or how well a treatment is working. And then there's a truly wild idea coming from the University of Manitoba. A team led by Malcolm Singh has figured out how to make a highly sensitive, stretchable medical sensor from gum that's already been chewed. They took chewed double-mint gum and mixed it with carbon nanotubes. The result was a flexible material that can detect a huge range of movements and even changes in humidity. While it's not a disease diagnostic in the same way, it opens up a world of possibilities for wearable biosensors. You could imagine a gum-based sensor that monitors your breathing rate by detecting the humidity changes from your breath. Its extreme flexibility means it can conform to your body's movements, making it a comfortable and unobtrusive way to monitor your vitals. The potential applications for these technologies are vast. The most obvious place to start is oral health. The gum is already in your mouth, so it's perfectly positioned to detect oral diseases. For example, the taste-based gum from 3A Diagnostics is designed to detect enzymes called matrix metalloproteinases, or MMPs. Levels of these enzymes spike during inflammation, associated with periodontitis and periimplantitis. Catching these conditions early is critical for preventing bone loss around teeth and dental implants. Beyond that, saliva is a rich source of biomarkers for oral cancer. While a specific gum for this isn't on the market yet, the technology to detect the necessary markers exists, paving the way for a future where a simple piece of gum could provide an early warning for this devastating disease. The next big area is infectious diseases. The COVID-19 pandemic proved how crucial rapid, widespread testing is. Chewing gum biosensors could be a game-changer in future public health crises. Researchers at the University of Pennsylvania School of Dental Medicine, led by Dr. Henry Daniel, have developed a chewing gum that can actually trap SARS-CoV-2 particles in your saliva. The gum contains a plant-grown protein called ACE2, which is the same receptor the virus uses to enter our cells. The ACE2 in the gum essentially acts as a trap, neutralizing the virus in the mouth and potentially reducing the amount you could transmit to others. This isn't just a theory. After showing promising results in lab studies where it significantly reduced the viral load in saliva from COVID patients, the research has now progressed to a clinical trial. This is a massive step forward for the entire field. The same principles could be used for other viruses. Dr. Daniel's lab is working on gums for other respiratory viruses, and as we heard, 3A Diagnostics is developing a taste-based flu test. An early warning, even before symptoms appear, would allow people to isolate and avoid spreading the virus. But it doesn't stop there. These gums could monitor systemic and chronic diseases too. Saliva contains biomarkers for conditions like inflammatory bowel disease, or IBD. A gum biosensor could one day offer a non-invasive way for patients with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis to monitor their disease activity. There are even patents exploring gums that could detect metabolites like acetone or uric acid, which can be indicators of various metabolic disorders. The technology is so modular that as we discover new salivary biomarkers for different diseases, they can potentially be integrated into a chewing gum format. So who are the pioneers making all this happen? We've mentioned a few. Professor Lorenz Meinl at the University of Würzburg and the company 3A Diagnostics are leading the charge on taste-based diagnostics, aiming for a simple, affordable tool for everyone. Then there's Dr. Henry Daniel at the University of Pennsylvania, whose groundbreaking work on a virus-trapping gum has reached the clinical trial stage. His use of a plant-based system to produce the key protein makes it low-cost and scalable. And we can't forget Professor Malcolm Singh at the University of Manitoba, whose research on turning chewed gum into wearable sensors is pushing the boundaries of what we thought was possible. The advantages of this technology are pretty clear. First, it's non-invasive and painless. Chewing gum is a far cry from a needle in the arm or a swab up the nose. This is huge for kids, the elderly, or anyone with a fear of needles. Second, it's incredibly easy to use and accessible. No special training is needed, and you can do it anywhere. Third, the results are rapid. The taste-based sensors can give you an answer in as little as 2 to 5 minutes. This is critical for controlling infectious disease outbreaks. Finally, it's cost-effective. By cutting out expensive lab equipment and trained staff, these tests could be made affordable for a global market, including in low-resource settings. Of course, there are still hurdles to overcome before these gums are in your local pharmacy. Any new diagnostic device needs to pass rigorous regulatory approval from agencies like the FDA. Manufacturers need to prove through extensive clinical trials that the tests are safe, accurate, and reliable. Developing a process to manufacture these gums at scale while keeping the sensitive biological components stable is another major challenge. Accuracy is everything. The gums must have high sensitivity, meaning they correctly identify people with the disease, and high specificity, meaning they correctly identify people without it. A false positive could cause unnecessary anxiety, while a false negative could have severe health consequences. Finally, there's the challenge of public and professional acceptance. Even with at-home testing becoming more common, a diagnostic chewing gum might face skepticism. Building trust through clear communication about the technology's accuracy and limitations will be essential. Despite these challenges, the future of chewing gum biosensors looks incredibly bright. We can expect to see them integrated with our digital lives. Gums with electrochemical sensors paired with smartphone apps could provide quantitative results, track data over time, and even offer personalized health advice. As our understanding of salivary biomarkers grows, expect to see gums developed for an ever-expanding list of conditions, from neurodegenerative disorders to cardiovascular disease. This technology could be a cornerstone of personalized medicine, helping to tailor treatments to an individual's specific, real-time biological data. In conclusion, chewing gum biosensors represent a true frontier in medicine. By combining a familiar, everyday product with powerful biosensing technology, scientists are creating a new reality for at-home disease detection. From catching oral cancer early to helping control the spread of global pandemics, the humble chewing gum is on its way to becoming one of our most powerful tools for better health. The day is coming, sooner than you think, when we can all simply chew our way to a healthier future.